Alright guys, we are back. I figured we're gonna fix this issue that we had from yesterday. I'm here in my pineapple shirt, ready to rock this out. So where we left off yesterday was one side of this coin. I'm assuming what happened was I was slightly off center when I cut the center punch, because there is a very minor difference between this side and this side. And that minor difference being this side's a little bit taller than this side. And it's not really a big issue as far as making this into a ring. We could finish this, but it would be visible off the finger. You guys know I'm a perfectionist when it comes to these things. So we're going to make this right by just grinding down this side a slight tad bit. It'll be so almost unnoticeable, other than the fact that you won't see the flaw anymore. And because of that, we weren't able to successfully put a reed on the other side because there was one part that just wouldn't take, and that was right here. So we're going to basically grind this side down a tad bit, such a tiny amount, but that'll square this off again, and then we'll be able to put the reed on it, and we'll be able to finish this up. This is a very small ring as it is. It's like a size 9 right now, and its final size is going to be a 7. So it's a pretty small ring. So being that small, there's really a lot of metal here as there is. So us taking a little off is probably just going to be more beneficial to the ring wearer when we're done. It'll be a little less thick of a band. You know, it's not going to be a big difference, but it's a little bit. So to do so, I got my grinder out. The grinder. So we're just gonna do it. We're just gonna do it. So we're going to take about that much off and then meet up around the other side. You see we ground just a tad bit off there. The coin's really hot right now, so I'm going to kind of let it cool down a little bit before I go back onto the grinder. It's a lot of eyeballing. And, this repair could have probably been quicker done by just replacing the coin and just redoing it, definitely would have just been quicker. But for the ring makers out there, sometimes you got to show some fails, and if you have a fix for that fail, it's nice to share it, because other people definitely are going to have those issues in the future. And they may want to search for a solution. It's always nice to have a video out there with a solution to a problem. If there was a problem, I'll solve it, as they say. Coin is very hot, so I think I'm pretty close. So what I'm going to do is, now the side that was pretty good, I'm going to just grind off that little bit of reed that we had there. So we can apply a new reed. And I'm just taking off such a small amount that if I didn't do this video, nobody would know I was even doing this. When it's done, there won't be a person alive that would know that we had to grind this down to fix it. It'll look like a perfectly done coin ring. Looks pretty legit to me. Pretty good. So this is what we're looking at. You can still see a dab of reed right there. But I'm going to actually hit this on this knife sharpener. It has different grits on each side of the block. And what this is going to do is this is going to kind of square it off, make it perfectly flat. So we'll slowly hit this on here, then we'll hit it with some sandpapers. We'll be perfectly good to go. Just double check that we are looking good. We are looking good. We're looking real good. So you can see that's starting to flatten that up. Give us a good square base. Feel like we're good to go there. To the sandpaper. The sandpaper. I'm gonna go to some 2000 grit. It's kind of hard to hold on to this coin. It's got sharp edges. It's got some sharp edges. It's actually looking pretty rough. I might need to hit it with the old Dremel tool. Just need to hit some of those rough patches. Trust me, it would be so much easier just to start over. But sometimes easier doesn't always do the job right. I'm also kind of rounding this one edge up so it's not a sharp edge. So this is a step we would have done anyways. Or it's going to just naturally happen when we do the rounding of the edges to make it the right shape, which is the next step. Again, I'm not hitting any of the inside detail of the coin. I want to keep all the detail as beautiful as can be. Alright, that kind of took care of some of the funky spots. And now we're back to, I just kind of rounded it off a little bit. Sandpaper, and then we'll hit the reeded side up. Reed this thing out. Then we can finish it. Then we'll be done. All right, now we're going to throw it on the reeding tool, the reader of the rees. The rereader. That would be a good comic book hero. The rereader. Now, we'll know that this worked if the reed is full on the bottom when we're down here. Meaning the whole edge has a reed. Moment of truth. It looks good to me. Looks reeded to me. Check it. We got a reed. Full reed. So now we can finish it. And if you notice, it's no longer bigger on one side, smaller on the other. We fixed it without really doing anything to it other than, I mean, if you had a caliper and you measured the millimeters before and then after, you would notice a difference. But now it's fixed. We fixed it. So now let's shape it. So first thing we want to do is see where we are size wise. We're at like we're at an 8.5 right now. So I'm basically going to put it to a die. This one here. What I'm going to do is, this is a 17-degree die. I'm going to wrap it in Teflon tape first, and then I'm going to put it in like so. And I'm going to press that down, probably almost all the way down. I'm going to press it down as far as this side sits, which is almost all the way down. That's going to tell me that this side and this side will then be the same size. I'm probably even going to take the reeded side or the unreeded side and press it down just that tad bit of difference it's off. And that should give us the nice shape. But we're going for shape, not size right now, because we're going to shrink it down smaller than we need to. Because we have some inside work to do on the reeded side, the original reeded side. And that is going to require, let me do this off my leg just because I have a bunch of dust on it. It's going to require me to take off a little bit of the metal from the reeded side. And then that'll make us the right size. So right now we're going for shape, and then we're going for size. So like I said, we're going to put it in here, push the reeded side down pretty much all the way down it can go. As far down as it can go, as low as you can go. That's that. Turn it over and hit it the tiny bit that it could go. So now it doesn't look like it because the tape's on there, but this side and this side are the same. But I'm kind of hoping it's still a little too big, which it is. It didn't really shrink the size much. It's about an 8. We want a size 7 end goal. So I'm actually going to shrink this side and this side down to about a 6. So we're going to go a little bit further. I'm going to take the tape off just to show you that without the tape, the shape would be pretty decent. It's a little bigger on this side, but we're shrinking this side and this side down just a tad more. I think we're going to do so in a 25-degree die because that won't require much of a press. So we'll be pretty close to where we need to be. And it will give us a nice, cool, round look. More like a fat tire. Or a flat tire look, which people really like. And with this being such a tiny ring, it'll be a really cool look. So now I'm using a 25-degree, so it's more concaved. And I don't need to hit it too hard because that degree is going to basically push that edge in. If we used a 17-degree, what would happen is it would kind of go like that. With this one, we're going to go like a little more curved. Get a little bit more curvature. And I'm gonna go slow. So I don't want to go too hard, because then we'll be a little bit screwed. So that brought the one side down to about a 7. Like I said, we want to go down to about a 5.5 to 6. So I can go a little bit more. Take your time when it comes to shrinking. It's hard to stretch these back out once they're shrunk. All right. I feel like that's probably perfect. 5.5 to 6. So now I want to do the exact same thing to the other side. Press it down to the exact same, where this one sits down. That's that white space you see. I want to press this side down to where I see the same amount of white space, which isn't very far. This is also where you want to kind of inspect your coin, because if we would have pressed this down, we would have been in a little trouble. There's a little tiny bit, and you might not even be able to see it, but that little speck hanging above the coin, that's a silver shaving. So I'm going to take this paper, this wrap off, and you can actually see there's a little shaving. And you don't want to press those back into the coin. Those occur from this edge kind of flipping up. There's a little tiny shaving of silver that sometimes comes up from that. So this was our bigger side. Now you can see this side shrinking. It's right where we want it. So we're going to do this side the same thing. We're just going to give it that little tiny difference of degree. And it's very, very small. I still want this to be comfortable for the customer, because it is a smaller size finger, so smaller size hand. You don't want to do too fat of a ring, because you don't want their fingers to be pushed like that, you know. You want to be able to put their fingers together. Alright, I think that's good. Looks good from inspection. Let's see what size we're at. We're at that 5.5, 6. So this is where we size it. So we are shaped. We are done shaping this thing. It's the perfect shape. Got a great shape to it. Now we need to take this reed, has too much metal, the side that you can see. You can look through the coin and see how much, you can almost see that reed kind of popping out there. I'm going to take some of that off so it's comfortable. I want this to be comfortable on the old fingers. And this is what's going to take us from a size about a 6. I'm actually hoping I can shrink this a little bit more. I'm probably just going to do that right now, because I have a feeling we're going to have more than a full size to take off. So I'm going to shrink it down about a half more size. This is one of the longest coin rings I've ever. This is one of the longest videos for a coin ring I've ever made. It's pretty funny. I do hand poured rings that I can do quicker than this, but it's just a learning curve, really. All right, perfect. perfect. It's about a 5.5. I'm going to press the other side down just a tad bit too. Mac, no. It's okay, bud. Hey, it's okay. Alright. So there we go. Now we can take that inner reed out. I can go a little crazy. Look how sweet this is. For a small ring, this thing is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So this thing basically, and again, I'm not messing with the detail of the inside of the ring, but you can see it takes shavings. There's a little shaving left on there on just that top inner reed, you can see. So we're not messing with any of the wording on the inside of the ring. We are simply just thinning this side out just a tad bit to be more in line with how thick this side is. That way when you wear it on your finger, it's not like wearing a rubber band that's super tight around your finger. It's being hugged by the whole coin rather than just one point. And there's a couple sizes worth to take off here. I can feel there's still quite a bit in there to take off, but let's just see the size difference. Right now it's about a 6 1/4. Our end goal is a 7. Getting real close to no more reed there. We're about 6 1/2. About a half size left here. Just feel around if there's any kind of lip. Take care of that. This is such a pretty nice little ring. And this is why we cut such a big center punch out of it. It's just, if we went any smaller, this thing would just be too big. It'd be huge. You know, if your hand's a size 12, it's another thing, but when you're wearing a size 7, Morgan Dollar can be pretty big for a size 7. But we punch the biggest hole we can. We're pretty close to where we need to be. I'll take off just a tad bit more and we'll be sitting at a perfect size 7. You can kind of see the shiny part is what we've been working on. You can still see all the great detail inside there. I'm really glad we continued on with this one. Giving up would have just been a bad idea, you know. It would have been one thing, you know, I don't get a lot of size 7 orders. It'd be one thing if it was a size 12 or 14, you know, you could kind of fix it on your own on the side, and then when one gets ordered, you can hook them up. But size 7, this would have just gone right to the scrapyard. There is no more reed left to take off. So let's see. We are looking really good. Let's So we're at size 7. I need to now sand that inside so we get a nice sanded look and feel. And then we will make it pretty. That's the fun part. The making it pretty and showing it off part. It's getting a little warm, the coin. And again, I'm not hitting any of the detail inside the ring. I'm only hitting that part that we just deburred. Woo! This is so pretty. So pretty. So pretty. It really is. It's a nice looking ring. So what I'm going to do, once I hit this with some steel wool, is I'm going to run into the other room where I do the patina solution, which will make all this detail explode off the ring. I'll show you before and then after. It's pretty amazing. But it takes about 30 seconds to a minute, so we'll be off camera for a few, but it looks like my dog just jumped up on his bed, so you guys can look at macaroni. Beautiful. And Tracy, just know that Tracy's the one that this is being made for. Tracy, just know that normally when I make rings, it's especially Morgan's, it's a one-time through. Bam. Done. Easy peasy. No issues. But that one little issue made this a huge challenge. And it looks like we went through a lot, but the reality is this thing looks just as good as all the other rings that go out of my shop, which are perfect, stunning, beautiful. So with all that drama, just know you're still getting an amazing ring. So this is where we're at without patina. So you can't really read the detail too well, but when I get back, I'll show how that all pops. Here's the inside of the ring. So, that detail right now, you can kind of read it because there's shadows and there's whatnot, but in a minute, you'll really be able to see all that detail. So I'll be right back. All right. So what that solution did was, it's called, it's basically liver of sulfur. It's a chemical that reacts to silver. So what it did was it basically turned it like rainbow tones. You can kind of see some purples and greens and yellows and some reds and whatnot. And then we take some steel wool. So this is our original reeded side. Just kind of hit that, and it just kind of makes the detail pop a little more. So we'll take the side that we added a reed to, the same thing. Kind of gives it some depth and whatnot. Then we'll hit the inside. So see how you really still can't read anything or see any serious detail, mostly because my camera won't focus, but you get the point. Once I hit these parts, it'll be like night and day. So I'll show you the inside first. So you should be able to see $1, $1, and then flip it over, and you'll see the United States of America. And then we'll do the outside. Do it nice and slow. Nice slow reveal. So we have the date, 1921. Then you have the E pluribus unum. The shape is perfect. It's absolutely beautiful. That's it. Excuse me. Where's my sizer? Where the heck did the sizer go, buddy? Did it fall in here? There you go. Size 7. Coming your way. And again, when we started this video, we had a height differential from one side to the other. Now that has all been fixed. It is the same. So that's how you fix it. That's how you rock out a beautiful size 7 Morgan dollar coin ring. Boom. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Peace out.